What's up, everybody? Your boy is back, and I was trying to figure out an angle for this because I know that a lot of y'all, well, not a lot of y'all, but some of y'all wanted me to talk about Tyler the Creator, and I was like, Anyway, contrary to popular belief, I don't like talking about stuff I hate constantly. You feel me? And I know that sometimes people accuse me of that, or they used to in the past, until they kind of started to see the really wide subject matter of my channel. But the truth of the matter is, I could hate all day. Most stuff to me is weak and garbage. And that's not just music. I think a lot of TV shows are garbage. And it's not, again, because I sit on a high horse. I'm actually very critical of my own work. When I write, I try to write the best possible thing I can. And if I put it out and people say it's garbage, I'm fine with that. Because I think you should always strive for excellence, right? Striving for perfection, right? Word to Ray and Ghost. So the thing is, I just think there's a lot of mediocrity, especially now, especially in the last 10 to 20 years. We have gotten very comfortable with some of the absolute worst mediocre music TV ever. Because it's a lot of it is not real. It's not honest. It doesn't come from an honest place, and you have a lot of pseudo hacks, talents, pseudo talents who are out here making art that is narcissistic at its very core and doesn't really speak to anything. That's just my opinion. But the point is, I had wanted to actually talk about something that I love because that's just much more interesting to me. And I was listening to the song Fire a lot. Absolutely love this record. And I, in fact, did a whole video analysis to this, but unfortunately got blocked. So maybe one time I'll put it out. And that was what I wanted to really talk about. And in the corner, when I was looking at, I just happened to stumble on this review of Busta Rhymes' Fire. I happened to see, like, right here in the trending side, there was a thing of Tyler the Creator. So I said, oh, it's like, the algorithms push this shit, right? Obviously, right? That's part of the marketing budget for these albums. And so it just occurred to me. I said, let me talk about something that I don't know if I've gone into much depth in, but I'll start off the first part of this. And that's the reviews. See, the problem I have with a lot of modern music and modern rappers, right, is obviously the system, the so-called tastemakers themselves, to me, don't know what the fuck they're talking about and aren't honest with themselves and don't even talk about the music. And obviously, leads to a cycle of just narrative building and bullshit. And people just realize, well, as long as I can get Pitchfork or NME to talk about me, it doesn't really matter what I release because it's all part of my narrative, right? So I look at NME, right? And this review was written back in 2005, which is surprising in a way because I want to say that the song came out in like 99 or 2000. So that's a good 5 years late, but that's beside the point. Maybe that's when they discovered Busta Rhymes. Anyway, the point is that if you look at this review of Fire, which is a phenomenal song, right? You know, they're talking about the actual music, right? And again, this is to me what has always been interesting about art. It's talk about the actual art. I don't care about the person's life. Like, the person's life is only interesting if it informs my understanding and appreciation of the art, right? But the art itself has to stand on its own, and that's primarily what we talk about. And then the life stuff you can add in a little later, and it's a tiny bit, but it's not the main focus at all. If the main focus is what is this person actually creating. So, for example, in this review, which I think is a short and to the point and well written review, Fire is darkly minimalist, which is what I love. I think rap in general is darkly minimalist. Like if you look at going back to um, Don't Push Me Cause I'm Close to the Edge, that beat is darkly minimalist, right? I think rap at its core has always been that. At least the best stuff in rap. It comes from a dark place, right? The Bronx. It's a dark place back in the 70s. Anyway, so the point is, this writing about saying that Fire is darkly minimalist, short, and brutal, I think is accurate. It tells you the flavor and the vibe of the song, right? Again, so that's a good review. It's a very short and to the point. The latest cut is a standout track. So they mention, hey, this is a standout track. So they're informing you, I like this song, okay? Like, again, I can't read reviews that don't talk about standouts. You know me when you see me in the channel. whenever someone says, check out this album, the first thing I ask you is, what are the standout songs? You should know what they are and recommend them to me. Because usually in an album, there's a standout cut or two or three, right? Now, a morass of self-aggrandizing, bass-heavy chest thumpers, which I love. I love bass-heavy stuff, as you can probably tell. I mean, rap in general, to me, is bass-heavy, but that's just my opinion. So, self-aggrandizing, confident, talking about self, boosting self, and again, that's a very core part to rap, right? That's confidence. It's almost coming from like a martial arts kind of place. And that's the beauty of hip-hop. And that's why so many black males gravitated to hip-hop, because hip-hop gave us a certain level of pride, right? Anyway. So, the only track that Busta produced himself, which is true, and shout out to Busta for making this beat, built around a brilliantly hysterical sample from Diana Ross's Surrender. It's a brilliant sample, right? It's, and I talked about this in my reaction, but when I first, I was playing Fire one time, this was years ago, and my mom, who doesn't even like rap, really, she heard it and was like, what is this type of thing? And I was like, oh, it's Busta Rhymes. She was like, she really loved it. She just loved the swing of it, and she thought it was unique, but it was also like, she was like, it sounds like something 70-ish. And I remember looking at the sample and I was like, oh, it's Diana Ross, it's the 70s. Yeah. But that's, again, what we did. We built on the foundation of great music beforehand, and we gave it a completely new spin, right? Is Tyler, the Creator, doing that? No, he's not. Anyway, but you'll see how, again, they're describing, this person, Christian Ward, is describing the music. He's not talking about what Tyler, the Creator's, or I'm sorry, what Busta Rhymes' real name is. How many kids does Busta Rhymes have? What mental illness or what struggle is Busta Rhymes going through, or whatever is hip, right? Narrative nonsense. They're just talking about the damn song, right? The nature of the song itself, right? And that's what is missing. Because when I look at, again, let's say 20 years later, almost at this point, NME coming with this, and by the way, once I saw this, I was like, oh, not this German expressionism bullshit. I mean, look, listen, I'll talk about that in a second. But I saw this and I was like, this is Tyler, the Creator, doing his usual try-hard thing. It sounds deep, it sounds profound, but I'm a film student. I am not new to German expressionism, and I don't want to sound arrogant saying this, but again, if you're going to take something, do something with it, right? It's not enough to just reference some shit. Anyone can just reference some shit, but what can you do with it? What about your reference is poignant, right, and relevant in today's modern era? That's the point. Right now, you're gonna say, Tochi, you didn't listen to the album, so you wouldn't know. You're right. I didn't listen to the album, so how the fuck would I know? But knowing Tyler's history of weak ass music and just visual trolling, I don't think he's saying anything in particular deep. And I've seen some reviews say that the message of it is muddled and they don't even know what he's saying. Yeah, I expect that from him. His artwork to me is lazy. That's just the truth of the matter. So I look at this review, right? Tyler, the Creator, Chromakopia, a landscape of chaos that reflects his own psychological conflict. Again, this is that narrative shit. I don't give a fuck, right? See, look at the difference. Darkly minimalistic, short and brutal. This is the vibe of the song. Not the vibe of Busta Rhymes himself, but the vibe of the song. This is the vibe of Tyler, the Creator himself. I don't care about Tyler, the Creator himself. I care about Tyler, the Creator's art. And again, these are two different things. But this has always been the problem with modern entertainment now. It's all dick riding a person's narrative. That people are just selling narrative. Tyler, the Creator, to me, is just another YouTuber. In the grand scheme of things, his music is weak and he has more fans. Okay, fair enough. But I want to hear an artist. I want to hear a great rapper. I don't want to just hear a fucking YouTuber. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Beast rapping, you know? So, look. The trail of crumbs dropped, blah, blah. Okay, none of this tells me anything about the album, the vibe of the album, to be honest with you. Sepia-toned worlds, okay, but what does that mean? That's a visual thing. It's not a auditory thing. Again, you see, you guys have to understand, I'm a writer. I pay attention to certain shit, okay? Bleary sepia-toned worlds is visual. Darkly minimalist, short and brutal is audio. We're talking about audio here. We're not talking about visuals, even though that there is a music video for Fire, right? I want to know, what's the music like? You're telling me what the visuals are like. right off the bat. And again, this is why hip hop and a lot of modern entertainment has gone down the toilet, because it's all visual nonsense in the grand scheme of things, and the core of it is just missing. So let's see here. In reality, it's probably whatever. Who cares? You know, the 33-year-old rapper, real name Tyler. I mean, I feel like this guy's just like word padding to. Now, I know again the way that these articles are written too. I'm sure they get paid per word and all this kind of shit. So you know, if you pad it out with stuff, it seems like a good and interesting read. But the truth is, that's fucking irrelevant. I don't care what Tyler's real name is. What the fuck has it got to do with whether or not this album is dope or not, right? So now he says. After two onslaught of synth noise and industrial percussion, okay, so you're now describing the audio, but the elements of the audio, but you're not giving me what is the feeling behind it. You're just literally telling me that, okay, it has synth noise and industrial percussion. Yes, but what is it? What's the feeling? What's the interpretation? Right? Here, again, very short, darkly minimalist is an interpretation. Okay? It's a very accurate one. But what again is the point of this song? Or what exactly about it are you telling me that I should note about Noid, right? Again, it's like, you know, his empathetic gaze, right? You know, this is the bigotry of low expectations ass shit that goes on now. Although you soon insist that raising a child is not my wish. So it's all about he said, he said, he said. I don't care what he said. What are you saying? What are you telling? What are you as a reviewer telling me about what this music actually means? It's not about what Tyler thinks. What Tyler thinks is fucking irrelevant, actually, right? We are now taking in the art. But again, this is, you know, when you ask me, yo, don't you talk about Tyler? Like, this is part of the problem, right? And that's why it's like, and I know he's making albums for NME type people who will write nonsense in the grand scheme of things, wordy nonsense that goes into fucking nowhere, right? And it's just, Okoma, right? He's writing like he knows this dude. Okoma's honesty is refreshing. Like, my dude, I don't give a fuck. Okay, again, this is that, this is that DEI writing. I just, it's so weak to me, right? Now, this dude says, Sam Moore, Tyler the Creator is the best rap album of 2024. I already know this is cap because at the end of the day, Tyler doesn't make rap music. He never has. Or I should say, he started out doing, you know, that early YouTube Soldier Boy type trolling with the rap a little bit, and then they, promptly moved on to Neptune's imitations. I would say NERD imitations. Okay, then he did this. He started moving on to that like fucking 10 years ago, right? 13 years ago. So he's not in rap anymore. Okay, NERD aren't rap. So I don't know this person talking about this is the best rap album. I already know that's cap. Now. Let's see here. Sam, is he going to be any better with the writing? Loop around the block, eyes, glued to review. Okay, pew, pew. Right, the bar, right? So he quotes this and says, this is a reflection of the paranoia of being a rap superstar in the 21st century. Really? Okay, so what about this is deep again? Like, why are you starting... Like, again, what's the point? So the angle here is that okay, he starts off by quoting this to show that Tyler's situated in a world where Takeoff, Nipsey, P&B Rock have been getting murked. So Tyler's now a wise elder statement who survived rap. But again, what the fuck does this got to do with the album? What the fuck does this got to do with Tyler's music? Okay, this is this whole like angle about the narrative, and it's all just narrative pitching, right? And at the end of the day, the record label or Tyler's friends or whatever will go, oh, we really like the narrative that this particular writer is trying to force. Let's go with it. But all of this, none of this has told me anything about the music. What is Chromakopia actually, the vibe of it? What's the feel? Does the feel even work? What is the mixing and how does it create what the vibe that you think he's supposed to be going for? I don't fucking know, right? All this is blah, blah, blah. Take, for instance, much publicized relationship with his estranged father. Again, this is that woe is me bullshit. I don't care about your estranged relationship with your father. I don't know your father. I don't know you. I care about the damn bars, the beats. What's going on, right? Refuses to dim his light. Oh, that's so cute. Aw, right? fuck out of here. So again, I'm not listening to the shit. I already know what is coming with Tyler, and I don't buy that bullshit. I will say though, one thing I think is interesting is, again, now I had thought about this even before I saw this Reddit page. But if you are interested in German Expressionism, you should listen. You should watch Metropolis, Fritz Lang, because when I saw the picture for the album right away, I was like, oh, this is some like Metropolis, Fritz Lang type shit. I think Caligula. There was a movie. Was it Caligula? Oh no, it's not. Maybe I'm getting done. There's a movie from back in the day. Ugh, no. German Expressionist films. Some of them are actually pretty decent. Let's see here. There was one in particular. The Caligari, right. The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. I've seen that. I've seen Nosferatu. So again, I'm kind of like, and again, what's interesting, major figures, Fritz Lang. What's interesting about this era is, just a side note here, is that it was almost like these filmmakers like predicted that there was something deeply wrong going on in the German psyche. There was something, and I think that's why a lot of people look back on German Expressionism, because it had, there was these crazy use of shadows and things like that, where it was almost like, and you look at someone like Caligari. Caligari is a Hitler-like figure that emerges, right? I mean, in the movie, and they made that movie in the 20s, right? And Hitler arises in like the 30s, right, or late 20s. And the point is, it kind of almost predicted that there was something going on in the German psyche where they would allow this dark, manipulative figure to come in and sort of just warp the minds of everybody. And we do kind of feel like that these days to a certain extent. I do think that there is that sentiment in the world, obviously given what's going on with Israel, Hamas, and even like the elections there's about to go down, like there's that, like, what's going on right now, where it kind of feels like we're a bit in free fall. So I can understand people going towards German Expressionism, but again, what about it are you like, what's your point? Like, again, I've explained this far more clearly than what Tyler the Creator is going to do, for sure, and even what ASAP is doing. And also, I remember ASAP he was talking about German Expressionism. So, and ASAP came out with Hijack 2 months ago. So who came with what? Is this like something Tyler and ASAP were talking about, and then Tyler just beat him to the punch? I don't fucking understand. And frankly, I don't even know why those two have a relationship, respectfully. Like, I still don't get it. But Rocky was, again, this looks like some Caligari type shit, right? So they were talking about German Expressionism like 3 months ago. Anyway. Now, for my last thing, I do want to bring up something I thought was kind of a funny situation. Shout out to Havoc, okay, and Dr. Todd Craig. I try to come into like their live every now and then, and let me just say first and foremost, because I'm going to critique something that Havoc has said, but you have to understand, I absolutely love Havoc. I love Havoc. Havoc, like, when I write Blood World type shit, I am literally listening to Hell on Earth a lot. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a big Havoc fan. Havoc is in my book top 5. His shit is just incredible to me. I listen to a lot of Havoc, a lot of Mobb Deep shit. I always have. But the point is that, and for Havoc to even have the balls to read comments and engage with his audience, I really respect the hell out of that, because a lot of people would not in his position. He doesn't have to do this, right? He's doing this because he genuinely likes people. He seems to be like that. He genuinely likes his audience. He appreciates his audience, and he wants to talk to them, right? And I respect anybody that can do that. So of course, like, if he says something I might disagree with, I'll say it, but it's not to clown him. I'm not in that business. I don't clown people, especially legends. I just not how, like, I would never clown someone's personal life or whatever, because that stuff's stupid, right? But I might clown how they think about something, right? And that's different, because that's a music thing. That's, we can always clown ideologies, but not the actual people, if that makes sense. So anyway, the point is, he says something about Tyler the Creator being dope. And this was yesterday, so I was like, fuck no. And you'll see my comment here, Tyler's super trash. And I even have a comment where y'all not bumping Tyler the Creator. Stop it, respectfully, right? And then I think Havoc actually. Let's see what he
People get
says.
tired of the same old thing after a while anyway. You know what I mean? So if you hold on, and somebody said y'all not bumping Tyler the Creator, stop it. Look, let me tell you this. You know how? You know why? First of all, I mess with Tyler the Creator music, but my son be bumping the music,
Right.
and I be like, who's this? He'd be like, Tyler the Creator. I mean,
Okay, so now, to me, this is not a good response. And like, I know that Havoc is trying to pay attention to what the youth are listening to, which is good. You should, but at the same time, you're the father, right? Like, I like your son is bumping Tyler, yeah, but are you bumping Tyler? No. Like he does say, Havoc goes on to say that he's a fan, that he did like Tyler before, but it's like clearly you're not. I don't believe Havoc's listening to Tyler the Creator all day. He ain't really into it. Like, for example, when I tell you I like ASAP Rocky, I listen to ASAP Rocky. I literally listen to Live Love ASAP, a track off Live Love ASAP from that era. Every week, every day, I'm in the car, I'm bumping Pretty Flacco. I literally was riding around yesterday bumping that shit. I love that shit. It's not, I don't like it because I want to be down with the new kids. I don't listen to Playboy Cardi because I want to feel young and down with it, whatever the young kids are doing. I listen to it because I actually love that shit. And that's the difference, right? I genuinely bump that shit. Between Royal Flush, Raekwon, Busta Rhymes, all that ill shit, I play Playboy Cardi. I play ASAP Rocky. I play some Drake, right? I genuinely like that shit. So this idea where like have, oh, well, my son's bumping it. It's like, I don't give a fuck if your son's bumping it. Your son's fucking 10, 15, whatever. Shit might be lame. So at the end of the day, this is not a good explanation, and I just feel like he can do better than this, right? And this is part of the problem. The older generation is always reaching out and trying to. It's like they want to stay young by doing this, but the truth is that they're kind of watering down the art form, because ultimately, when I was growing up, I listened to whatever my dad was listening to. Right? It wasn't the other way around. He wasn't looking at me being like, "What are the kids listening to? Kids Bop. Let me listen to that." Nah, that's not how the shit goes. You know what I mean? So, on that note, peace.